ドレミファソラシドオッケードレミファギー
I've stated it before, so I'm going to state it again. When I get to a certain milestone on my YouTube page or any other social media platform, I would do a full-on collection tour. And since I just amassed 500 subscribers recently and surpassed 1,400 followers on TikTok, I think it's high time we finally take a look at the stuff that is displayed on both my review station and throughout the entirety of my room ever since the start of my YouTube hobby. Now, all the stuff that I've collected over the years, it varies from DVDs, video games, Lego, tokusatsu, basically just a jack of all trades, to be precise. Now, while I will go in depth on all the stuff that I've collected over the years, I think it's probably best we talk about one of the touchier subjects of my collecting days. Now, if you haven't watched any of my videos beforehand or any of my reviews, I stated before that I'm not too big on collecting boxes. They're big, bulky, take up way too much space in my room, and I only collect them on certain standards, whether it be if I'm planning to resell them later on down the road, somebody's going to ask for the box, or if I just want to keep the boxes for artwork's sakes. And I think it's probably best we do this in multiple parts. So welcome to part 1 of the 1290 collection tour, the unboxing, where we take a look at all of my tokusatsu boxes. If you're still subscribed after I said that sentence, God bless you. First up is the Gosei Sword Driver set. Managed to get this for a pretty good price on Collectibles. This was the first toy line that I ever actually invested in fully because I just love the aesthetic of Saber so much, and I don't really regret it buying anything from Saber because, well, I mean, I have pretty much 95% of the entire toy line. Candy Toy Zyuohger Gearbox because I love Zyuohger so much and I will literally buy anything for it. The first thing I ever spent a majority amount of money on when I started collecting, this being the Deluxe Jika Driver set. This was the only set that actually had the Gates ride watch as well as the ride watch straps for a decent price. It was only like $100 on Amazon, so I'd say it was a pretty good steal. And speaking of first things that I bought with my money when I started collecting, my very first driver, this being the Deluxe Beyond Driver. Yeah, I still kept the box for this one, despite me not really keeping most of my boxes around. I just love this one. I mean, it has a very close thing to my heart. I love the Beyond Driver, I love Waz, I love everything from Geo. So yeah, I'm definitely going to keep that. Here we have my dim card blisters for EX Set 1 and EX Set 2, this being the Tamer Trio, as well as the Digimon Adventure Trio. Okay, I'm gonna be real, I don't know why I still have my wireless controller box. It's just a thing of cheap plastic. I don't even know why I still have it, but hey, just to show that I'm a gamer, I guess. Okay, I'm going to admit, I have a weird history with Sengoku drivers, because first I had the 28th anniversary set, and then I bought this at the beginning of this year because I gave the other one to a friend. I mean, this was actually relatively cheap, cheaper than the 20th anniversary version that I bought on Amazon, because it was like $60. Combining that with the Idun set and Ryugen faceplates, that was roughly $100 I spent on this thing, which is money well spent, I suppose. Next up is my first Ultraman that I ever watched, this being Ultraman X, so I bought the X Divisor for like $80 on Mercari America. I was really surprised that it had a complete one in box as well as with the Spark Dolls, because these things are hard to find on the aftermarket. Ultraman Decker Not a Kitty set. I mean, this is actually a nice way to do a roleplay set because it actually includes the first set of cards as well as the card holder as well as the D-Flasher itself, so you get a crap ton of cards included. My only problem with the cards, though, is that they're basically styled after the holofoils in Yu-Gi-Oh!, so they bend easy. I have a weird history with this driver, too, because I bought this thing and, like, I waited a good 3 months for it to come in the mail, only for the box to get damaged by UPS. I'm a little bit pissed off about that, but this is a very nice driver design, as well as a nice commemorative item for the 50-year anniversary for Rider. Just overall, this is a really nice driver, and the included booklet's nice, too. Never really thought of me owning a Forza driver, especially for how cheap I got this off of Mercari America, because the seller was not only selling the Forza driver itself, but a couple of Astro Switches, so in total I spent $100 on the entire lot, and this is a really nice box in of itself, because it really does say a lot about how we are packaging things in the newer years, because right around when X8 hit the scene, they swapped how they do the boxes with the flap being in front rather than in the back. Needless to say, though, I'm happy to have Forza because Forza is the best, and I will die on this hill. A box I didn't really think I would keep, this being the DX Dawn Blaster, because originally I was going to toss this away after opening the box, but in reality, I'm a sucker for really good artwork on Toku boxes, and to be honest, who could beat this mural, because everything from Dawn Brothers is just excellent. Why didn't Bandai even bother reselling the Neo DN driver during Geo vs. Decade? I mean, it's a pretty good item, despite the soundboard being the same from the CSM version, minus a couple card scanning gimmicks, as well as screwing up Zeronos and Ix's cards around. Overall, though, this is a really nice gun, but I just don't understand why they didn't want to resell. Speaking of reselling, here's the Neo Deca driver and K-Touch 21 set. Me being a dumbass, I accidentally bumped into this thing in my closet and the flap ripped, so I'm a little bit upset about that. But like I said, sucker for really good artwork, and nothing beats this box design because it's just amazing, and it's super thin too. Storage space on point. Out of all the Pete Band items I have though, the Oma driver was the least expensive, only being like $80 off of Amazon America. Like I said before though, sucker for really good box art designs, and the Oma driver itself is just a centerpiece of the whole entire room. I'm also a sucker for dark versions of certain changers, and the Mume King Kilmu really fills in that spot because it's just a really nice driver design, and I wish they would do more black and orange versions for Dark Riders because this was just chef's kiss. Memorial Edition Gokaiger set. Wish I would have bought the Memorial Mobiritz, but by the time I bought this set, the Memorial Mobiritz was already sold out until collectibles. But hey, Ranger keys are like crack, so I'll take what I can get. First time I actually bought a DVD item, this being Arabiana Nights and Amazing Siren. Like I said, I own 95% of Saber's toy line, so naturally I'm going to buy this. Although I wish I would have bought the Blu-ray instead of the DVD version so I can actually watch this film without having to go on pirated sites. I'm gonna be real, the Geared to Zinger box isn't really my favorite. The only real image I like is this one. But overall though, it's a really nice dark slash rival Ranger changer. Although for some strange reason, they are teasing a Memorial Edition of this toy, so I don't know if I'll invest in that. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit confusing. I have a complete selection modification card box, but I keep all my extras in here, such as the extra CSM cards that came with CSM set Decade. So what you're seeing right now are all of the CSM cards that came in that original set. I kept the DX ones from the Neo Deca driver and DN driver in a card binder somewhere, and I keep all of these in a box. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I'll probably just sell them. But yeah, this is basically just everything from the CSM set, including all of the main ride cards, Final Form, Final Attack, Final Form rides, etc. But also I have some custom DN cards I got off of AliExpress, since during that week when I got the Neo DN driver, I wanted to do a complete set of Kamen Rider cards. So I bought this set for mostly DN's cards that weren't included with the Neo version, so they weren't that expensive, but it took a while to get there. But hey, I got doubles of everything now, so yeah, that covers that. And in terms of miscellaneous boxes, here we have my SH Figure Arts boxes for Revice and Blades and Saber, respectively. And here are all my boxes that I keep on my top shelf above my closet. Now, if you've watched the majority of my videos in the last 2 years, you know that this setup of boxes has changed over the years. So, extra points if you can remember the original setup.
Now it's time for the fun part. I get to put all of these back in there. Yippee!
I know that I've gotten 8th place on Tetris 99, but I can assure you this time lapse does not make this job look any easier because the current setup that I have is not great and it looks like it's gonna fall over. So if it does, I guess it'll be for a good cause, I suppose. I don't know. Yeah, your eyes don't deceive you. I just wasted about 6 minutes talking about boxes. Which is why I wanted to get that out of the way before it being the first part, because someone's going to say that was the most boring part of the video if this was an hour-long session. So, now that we got all that out of the way, I think it's probably best we talk about the Tokusatsu collection in its entirety in part 2. So that'll take a little bit longer to make, but it will come out as soon as I can. Now, with all that being said, though, guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and if you want to see more content, feel free to subscribe to me for more content as well. Follow me on TikTok, this being NateNexo01. And, of course, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Gosei Green1290, signing out.